I sleep in bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side, Macaulay Culkin's on this side, his sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed.
Most people remember Michael Jackson as one of the most iconic musicians that ever lived, breaking records with each new release. Today, he is still known as the King of Pop, even years after his death. But to his daughter Paris, he was just Dad, without any fancy titles. She was one of the few who truly knew the real Michael Jackson behind the costumes, stage performances, music, and fame. Despite the luxurious life people thought he had, Michael made sure Paris grew up with a genuine personality, which she often talks about in interviews. She also confirmed something we all suspected, but never had proof of. So, what did she confirm? Keep watching to find out. Michael's passing and influence on Paris. On the sad day of June 25, 2009, the world mourned the loss of Michael Jackson, the beloved artist who had captured hearts worldwide. He passed away in his Los Angeles home due to cardiac arrest caused by a fatal mix of drugs administered by his personal doctor. At the time of his sudden death, Michael's daughter, Paris Jackson, was only 11 years old. In a 2017 interview with Rolling Stone, Paris revealed a touching detail that highlights the special bond she had with her father. She shared that when he died, Michael was wearing a rope and jade bracelet from Africa. Paris finds deep meaning in this bracelet, always wearing it and never wanting to take it off. She mentioned it still has his scent, making it even more precious to her. Paris has openly said that her connection with her father goes beyond the physical world. She often dreams about him and feels his presence constantly. Michael Jackson's impact on Paris is not just personal, but also influences her creative work. In an interview about her debut album, Wilted, Paris acknowledged her father's lasting effect on her artistic style. She believes his influence touches everything she does, consciously or unconsciously. Growing up surrounded by his creativity, Paris was encouraged to explore her musical talents. Paris often speaks about how her dad, Michael Jackson, shaped her music. She believes that negativity towards him stems from jealousy because he was so talented and kind-hearted. His ideas and teachings naturally find their way into her songs. Being around Michael's creative mind taught her invaluable lessons that she considers treasures. Despite his immense wealth and fame, Michael Jackson was very down-to-earth. He ensured his children stayed humble, teaching them that money and fame don't make anyone better than others. Paris feels she absorbed a lot from his creativity and teachings. In an interview with Naomi Campbell, Paris talked about her upbringing. Her father made sure she experienced both the glamorous and ordinary sides of life. He took her to various places, not just fancy ones, so she could understand life better. Paris recalls that her dad didn't hide the truth, even when it was difficult. Instead of sugarcoating history, he told her the real facts, like how Columbus harmed the natives. This showed that he wanted his kids to truly understand the world. In another interview, Paris spoke about how her dad raised her. She said Michael didn't hide the truth from her. He wanted her to see the world as it is, not just the glamorous parts. Education was very important in the Jackson family. Paris often talks about how her dad emphasized the importance of education. She once shared a story about how serious he was about her doing well in school while also having fun. He encouraged her to read by telling her that if she wanted 5 toys from Toys R Us, she had to read 5 books and discuss them with him. This shows how much Michael cared about his kids being smart and interested in learning. Paris remembers her dad being strict about her education. He had a firm approach to balancing schoolwork and playtime, wanting her to excel in both. He even came up with a clever way to encourage her to read more by connecting it to getting toys. This story highlights how much Michael valued learning and wanted his children to understand its importance. Paris's homeschooling and tattoos. Before Michael Jackson's sudden passing, his children had to juggle school with travel. They didn't just learn in regular classrooms, but also explored different places both in the country and abroad. Paris Jackson had a unique childhood compared to most kids. She told Harper's Bazaar that she was homeschooled for the first 12 years of her life, mostly learning from family members or other adults. Being homeschooled kept Paris and her siblings out of the public eye, giving them a more private childhood. Paris and her siblings used to hide their faces with veils or masks when they went out. She said, "I don't really think it was an option for me to be a vet or a nurse. That wasn't really in the cards for me. I was born into something, and I just have to keep it going." When asked if she's comfortable being in the public eye now, she replied, "Well, it's all I've ever known." Family morals. According to writer Candace Bushnell, Paris explained in a 2013 interview why they wore masks. She said her father, Michael Jackson, didn't want people to recognize them. He wanted them to have a normal childhood, something he never had. Paris believes her dad shaped her strong morals and ethics. In a talk with Willow Smith on Red Table Talk, Paris mentioned how her dad's teachings still influence her life. She shared that someone asked her about continuing her father's legacy, which made her reflect on the good values she learned from him. She uses these morals every day, emphasizing humility, kindness, and tolerance, even in tough times. Paris thinks it's important to be kind not only to those who are nice to you, but also to those who may have hurt you. She also believes in being kind to yourself. Growing up, she learned these values from her dad and still holds them close as an adult. Now, she is following her dreams of being a musician and working in entertainment. Despite her dad's fame, she wants to achieve success on her own terms, saying she wants to earn everything she gets. Paris values honesty and staying true to herself, lessons she learned from her dad. Paris is determined to carve her own path in life, even with her dad's legacy. She believes in working hard and earning her success. Her strong sense of self comes from her father, who taught her to embrace her Black heritage, despite their different skin colors. In a 2017 interview with Rolling Stone, Paris discussed how her dad's lessons shaped her, saying she identifies as Black. She recalled times when Michael encouraged her to take pride in her heritage, showing her trust in his words. Paris has struggled with accepting her appearance due to her dad's skin condition, vitiligo. In an interview with Rolling Stone, she acknowledged that some people think she doesn't look like she has Black roots. She said many who don't know her assume she's white. Not everyone agrees with Paris's views. For instance, Wendy Williams criticized Paris's comments about her light skin after reading an article about her. In response, Paris wondered why Wendy seemed so focused on her family. She shared her deep bond with her father, Michael Jackson, through meaningful tattoos. In a 2017 interview with Rolling Stone, Paris revealed she has over 80 tattoos, with 9 dedicated to her dad. These tattoos symbolize their bond and serve as a lasting tribute to him, even years after his passing. Paris still mourns her father's loss, and she chose to mark her skin permanently with symbols that remind her of him. Paris mentioned that Michael always made her happy, so she wanted tattoos that reflected that joy. One tattoo on her collarbone reads, "Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust," inspired by Peter Pan, a character Michael liked, and her own nickname, Tinkerbell. Another tattoo includes words from a letter Michael wrote, saying she's the queen of my heart. These tattoos show Michael's love for Paris and how she keeps his memory alive. Paris's piercings also have special meaning beyond just decoration. According to an article in LVR magazine, the total number of her piercings is significant to her and her dad. Paris mentioned that the overall number is what matters, not each individual piercing. She hinted at symbols like a sunburst, feather, and dragon, which all represent her connection with Michael. Paris's work ethic is heavily influenced by her famous father. Michael Jackson was known for his dedication to music, and Paris has inherited this trait. She applies the same dedication to her own projects. Paris admires her father's relentless pursuit of excellence and uses it as inspiration for her music. When faced with challenges, she turns to music for comfort, focusing her energy on her creative work. This was particularly true in 2019 when she struggled and needed medical help while under media scrutiny. Music became her refuge and a way to heal. For Paris, music is not just a career. It's a means of dealing with life's challenges and finding healing through art. Hardships of being his daughter. Growing up as Michael Jackson's daughter was challenging. Being constantly watched by the public caused Paris a lot of stress. She dealt with anxiety, hearing things that weren't there, and feeling very paranoid because of the paparazzi. To protect his kids, Michael made them wear masks when they went out. Paris appreciates her dad's efforts to shield them from the media. But being in the spotlight so much made her very sensitive to noise. This sensitivity sometimes causes her to panic. Similar to PTSD, Paris has shared how she and her dad had deep conversations about the difficult times he faced while he was alive. Living a normal life. Michael wanted his children to experience a different kind of upbringing from his own unusual childhood. He wished for them to enjoy ordinary activities, like visiting Chuck E. Cheese and Toys R Us, and doing simple things such as watching movies and eating junk food together. Paris remembered a time when she didn't even realize her dad was famous around the world. She just saw him as her dad. Jackson grew up in a large theme park called Neverland, which covered 2,700 acres. Even though it might seem like life there was carefree, being Michael Jackson's daughter came with strict rules. Paris mentioned in a Rolling Stone interview that they couldn't just go on rides whenever they wanted. They had to go to school every day and behave well to earn the chance to do fun things on weekends, like going to the movies or spending time with the animals. If they didn't follow the rules, they would lose these privileges. Despite this, Paris still has fond memories of her time at Neverland. Neverland. Years after Michael's passing, Paris visited Neverland and shared with Event magazine that she cried because of its beauty. This visit highlighted how much Neverland meant to her. As of 2022, Neverland was being renovated by a businessman named Ron Burkle, but its significance in Paris's life shows how special her childhood was. Paris discovered a different side of her famous father, Michael Jackson, away from the stage lights. While fans knew him for his stunning performances, at home he showed off his cooking skills. Michael loved preparing tasty meals for his daughter, creating a personal connection in their kitchen, far from the crowds and cameras. This shared love for cooking allowed Paris and Michael to bond deeply. Cooking. Even though Michael had a personal chef named Niall, his own cooking skills were remarkable. Cooking together became a special time for them, filled with heartfelt conversations. Paris fondly remembers her father's incredible fried chicken, which he proudly said was the best in the world. These cooking sessions weren't just about the food. They were moments for Michael to share his skills and wisdom with his daughter, turning their kitchen into a place of family connection. Paris and Michael also bonded over culinary arts. She recalls how her dad made amazing French toast, and even talked about it with Oprah in 2010. These moments revealed a caring side of Michael Jackson. Since his passing, Paris has been working hard to keep his memory alive. Humanitarian Award. Paris has discovered special ways to honor her father, such as celebrating his 60th birthday in 2018. At that event, Paris and her brother Prince received a humanitarian award from the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation on their dad's behalf. This highlighted their dedication to carrying on Michael Jackson's legacy of compassion and support for others. As Paris grows older, she is learning more about the significant impact her dad, Michael Jackson, had on the world. MJ the Musical. To keep their father's memory alive, Paris and her brother Prince appeared together in February 2022. They supported the Broadway show MJ the Musical, which celebrated Michael Jackson's incredible career. It was a special moment for Paris and Prince to come together and honor their dad's legacy. They wanted to express their pride in Michael Jackson's achievements and show how much he meant to them. Paris and Prince walked down the red carpet, talking to reporters and taking photos. This event highlighted how much their dad still matters in the music world. The show, MJ the Musical, took place at the Neil Simon Theater in New York City, serving as a fitting tribute to Michael's significant impact on music. Paris and Prince weren't just spectators, they were actively part of the celebration, paying tribute to their father's musical legacy. It's a memory they will always cherish. Prince took to Instagram to thank everyone for the opportunity to honor his dad and their family's heritage. He praised the team behind MJ the Musical for their dedication and enthusiasm, saying they did a fantastic job keeping Michael Jackson's music alive and sharing his powerful message. Meanwhile, in an interview on No Filter with Naomi, Paris talked about the continuous support she received from her dad, Michael Jackson, while pursuing her dreams. Despite his attempts to keep her away from the spotlight, he always encouraged her to follow her passions. Paris also reflected on how her childhood experiences and the music her dad introduced her to have shaped who she is today. This is something we've always known. Music passion. Paris Jackson has revealed that her dad had a big impact on her musical tastes, which is clear in her own singing style. She talked about how Michael loved all kinds of music, from classical and jazz to hip-hop, R&B, Motown classics, and even the songs on the radio. His appreciation for various genres, including rock and soft rock, and his special love for the Beatles showed how much he enjoyed music from all over. Paris also mentioned how her dad's music has shaped her own career. She has forged her path in the music industry with her solo projects and has been sharing her musical journey with her fans on Instagram. Her dad. After being a part of the group The Soundflowers, Paris took a major step in her music career by releasing her debut solo album, Wilted, in 2020. During an appearance on Good Morning America, Paris spoke about the deep impact her dad, Michael Jackson, had on her while she was growing up. She mentioned how he was always there for her, offering support and inspiration in all areas of her life. Paris explained that her father's encouragement wasn't limited to just one aspect, but extended to everything she did. As she entered the music industry, she was aware that being Michael Jackson's daughter came with its own challenges. Nevertheless, she remembered his advice to pursue her dreams, whether she wanted to be an astronaut or explore other interests. Paris shared her dad's mantra, "Do it, and do it well." She felt fortunate to have a father who encouraged her to seek happiness and excel in whatever she chose. As she builds her own career, Paris hopes to be a role model for hard work, resilience, and musical inspiration, just like her father. I want to thank you for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Till next time.